Cheesecake is classic dessert, but today I will show you a different approach. We are making cheesecake mousse, a light crumble and fresh berries. Everything you love about cheesecake, just refined. It tastes exactly like a cheesecake, but there is no cake. So let's get started. And the first thing I need to make is my cheesecake mousse. You will need cream, sugar, cream cheese, vanilla, lemon, salt and gelatin.
Full recipe will be in the description down below. You start with adding gelatin inside the cold water for a few minutes and then mix cream and sugar and make it a little bit warm so you can then melt gelatin inside. In the bowl, mix cream cheese, lemon zest and vanilla. I'm using this paste, but if you're super rich, use fresh vanilla. And at the end I will add a pinch of salt. Now the gelatin is ready, so I just squeeze out the water and mix it inside the warm cream. I'm using just one sheet of gelatin because you don't want to really make like a panna cotta, right? This should be just light mousse. Now before you mix both together, make sure the cream is not super hot. You want it like 30 degrees Celsius, not more, because otherwise you melt the cream cheese too much. And when you combine both together, you can whip your cream. Make sure your cream is stone cold from the fridge, because otherwise you never get the right thickness. And when you have nice whipped cream ready, you can add it part by part inside your cream cheese mix. This mousse is a little bit thinner than normal mousse because I want to put it in my molds, and if it would be too thick, yeah, that would be difficult. I'm using this mold with the shape of like a Snickers bar, but in general you can use any mold and experiment with any shape.
I leave it like this inside the fridge overnight, and tomorrow before I take it out of the mold, I put it inside the freezer for around 20 minutes. The next component I will make is my blackberry gel. I'm using frozen blackberries, but you can of course use different berries, and if you have fresh one, even better.
So I mix the berries, sugar, lemon juice and star anise powder inside the pot. I'm not using a recipes, you can adjust this, you can put more sugar, make it more sweet, you can put less sugar, make it more healthy and less sweet, depend which kind of fruit you're using. If you're using sour berries, you can do more sugar. If you have something more sweet, you do less sugar, very easy. And then you basically want to cook it until you end up with thick paste. Recipe till now didn't matter, but now will be important to know how much agar powder I want to put. So I put everything inside this measuring jar and I add water until I have 200 ml. And then I put it inside the pot and measure 2 grams of agar. I bring it to the boil again, cook the agar for 2 minutes and then I will strain it. Because I don't want the seeds and other rubbish inside. And like this, I leave it to set inside the fridge for a few hours probably.
At the start, I told you there is not gonna be any cake, but we will make delicious crumble with a little bit almonds.
So very easy recipe for this. You need flour, sugar, almond flour and butter. Exact amounts will be in the description down below. And I hope you can see the pattern with the recipes. If I want you to use recipes because it would be difficult for you to make it, I give it to you, like this crumble. But if you don't need recipe and I want you to experiment, like the gel, I don't give you a recipe. I'm not doing it randomly. And so you mix the dry ingredients and at the end you add melted butter and mix everything properly. In meantime I also add a little bit of the cinnamon and I bake it like this, 170 degrees Celsius, until I have nice dark crumble. When you see the sides are getting more dark, you can just mix it halfway through and then finish baking until it's ready. You should end up with something like this. You can leave it to cool down on the side and it will be ready for the plating. The gel is set now, so I just cut it a little bit with a knife, transfer everything inside the blender and blend it. If you're struggling to blend it properly, just add a little bit water. Because sometimes it's difficult to guess how much agar to put. It's always better to put a little bit more and then add water, because if you don't add enough agar, then you have thin gel and then that's a problem. At the end, I just transfer everything inside a plastic bottle because that's the style I want to use, and I keep it inside the fridge until I need it.
So the mousse is inside the freezer now, the gel is ready, crumble is ready, and last two components I want to make are fresh raspberries and vanilla chantilly.
So for the raspberries, I have fresh ones and I just mix them with a little bit lemon juice and sugar. Like this they get better taste and nice glaze around them. You don't want to do it too early, just do it like 5 minutes before plating so they keep the shape, but they get bonus flavor and shine. For my vanilla chantilly, you just mix heavy cream, sugar, vanilla, and you whip everything to soft peaks. You don't want to do it too thick, like the maximum peak like you did for the mousse, but just like a soft peak so you have nice creamy garnish on the plate. The amount of sugar you can adjust for your taste, and of course if you want to experiment with another spices, you can add them too. And I transfer it inside a piping bag because I want to do nice big dots.
Now we have everything ready, so let's do the plating. I will do two plating options. The second one you can watch like always with my other bonus content on my Patreon page. Check out the link below the video.
And the first thing I need to do is to take the mousse out of the mold, and because I have quite thin pieces, I will put two on top of each other so I have bigger piece, and I leave it like this for around 5 to 10 minutes on the side to get the room temperature, because you don't want to eat frozen mousse, but nice soft mousse. Then I start with a swipe of my berry gel on the bottom, mousse on the top, good amount of my almond crumble, some fresh raspberries, my vanilla chantilly, and then I want to add a little bit more gel because just the swipe you're not gonna feel it that much, and I will finish it with lemon balm and nice beautiful purple edible flowers. And I can tell you this dessert tastes incredible. Yes, it looks good, but it tastes even better, believe me. And if following other people's recipes is not enough for you anymore, and if you want to start creating your own dishes, your own flavors, your own plating, I have a coaching program where I work with you personally. Link is below, apply, and let's see if it's good fit.
And if you'd like to learn another cool fine dining dessert, check out this video and learn how to make my mango and coconut dessert. Thank you for watching guys, and I see you soon.